Are you asking too much or too little for the property you're selling? Stick around and find out. Hey, this is Bill Eaves, certified probate expert and associate broker with RE/MAX in Bensalem and licensed agent with RE/MAX at the Shore. So to properly price a property, there's what you would call a sweet spot. It's not too high, not too low. It's like Goldilocks, it's just right. It sells in a quick amount of time with multiple offers, and it'll appraise. Because the worst thing is you get a house under agreement and then it doesn't appraise. How do you know your agent's competent? How do you know they're pricing it right? How do you know they're guiding you right? How do you know they're not just trying to get a quick sale? Well, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you exactly what I do with a seller on a Zoom meeting. They don't have to be in the room. They have all the information at their fingertips that they need. Okay, so I'm going to run through with you just as if I would with a seller from long distance or just didn't want to come in the office. We would do this at their kitchen table or on a laptop, of course, or we would just do it over the Zoom meeting like this. So first thing we would normally do is go to public records. Public records, I'd put in an address, and then I would just verify the data that's coming up, such as bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. For this, I'm just going to do a comparable market analysis for a row home in Northeast Philadelphia that's 1,300 square feet, a typical 3-bedroom, 1 or 2 bath. But I'm going to make it on the end because you can kind of go a little crazy with the, with the sales. All right, so again, normally I'd put in an address. Okay, now here we have Parkwood. Now it's important to understand the neighborhoods and where these builders built these houses and where they stopped. This is all singles. I'm comping a row home or a townhome. I don't want those. Okay, so I'm sticking with this section because this is what a neighborhood we all call Parkwood. This is Rambler Park. This is Walton Park. This is Modena. In a city, sometimes things aren't laid out exactly as you would, you would think, and on patches. But this is the same builder, same model houses. They're all very, very similar. So now we're going to go to the criteria. So we have our area established, and we're going to see if there's anything active in there. Well, we'll just take a quick peek. And we'll say, okay, we have an end on Medford, asking 425. This is active. One in the middle on Vinton, asking 294. One on Hollins, asking 314. They've just reduced. 21 days on the market, 10 days on the market. This one's only 9 days on the market. And essentially, you can see all these are built around the same time, and all have 1,300 square feet. 1,360. The difference between a 3 and a 4 bedroom is that the builder gave people an option to have the master bedroom cut in half to make 4 bedrooms. That's the only difference. I'm going to look at the sold houses. I'm only going to look in the last 90 days. Since our fictitious house is a townhouse, I'm going to select end row townhouse. Now you can see I'm down to 6 matches in the last 90 days. Why do I do this? These are the houses that an appraiser is most likely to use when appraising the house for somebody who gets a mortgage. Everybody getting a mortgage will get an appraisal. Everybody who buys cash often gets appraisals, but not all the time. It's got to be a really good deal for them to waive the appraisal. It has to be such an obvious good deal that they would waive the appraisal. We're not talking about giving the house away. We're talking about how do we get the most money possible. The first step is knowing what that is. Notice one thing, I do not have a price range in here. I'm going to let the data tell me where the house should be priced. Okay, so this one sold just in January, 322. I'm going to take a quick peek at it. It's a nice house. I'm flipping through this fast. I don't want to bore you. So it's a nice place. Kitchen's not brand new, but it's newer. It doesn't have a deck. This was a solid wall at one time with a doorway, like an entryway from the dining room to the kitchen. They opened it up like many people have done. Just going to flip through real quick. I'm checking for the floors, the bathrooms, the kitchens. So you can see this one still has the wall there. That's what it used to look like from the builder. You can see the kitchen's nice. It's upgraded, but it's not new. That's a Formica countertop. And that, oh, there you go. Again, the wall was taken down so they could open that space up. A breakfast bar was put in. So you can already kind of see the difference. 322, 323, and 310. Just that wall being opened is making a difference. Check out Leicester. Leicester's basic. Nice floors, needs paint, old kitchen. And Leicester sold for $291. Are you seeing the pattern? Orion, this has a little bit of extra space because the garage was converted into a finish room or a storage room. And here's your typical estate sale. Inherited property. Euro style kitchen. So this was remodeled probably in the late 70s, maybe early 80s. They don't sell that stuff anymore. So when we go back here, you can see 322, 323 right now is our top prices. 305 Medford. Did I miss this one? Yes, I missed one. If you're going to sell your house on your own, or you got a realtor coming over to sell it, please insist on professional photography. It's possibly granite countertop, double sink, tile. It's a nice house. Should have got more than 305. And why? Pictures. So 322, 323 for the nicest ones. 310 if it 305 it needs some work or has terrible pictures. If it needs a little more work, you're down in the twos. Now, the reason I put end row is because watch what happens if I didn't know it was an end row and I put in all the rows. I don't want the twins, I don't want the detached. I'm just going to put in all the end rows in that area. It was sorted by price. Now you see them going all the way down into the twos. So if I was comping these, okay, let's put it on the map. Now, let's say my house was somewhere over here. Okay, if I didn't know to look for end rows, I'd have 271, 285, 267, 275, 290, and a 315. Okay, it's pretty nice, but it's not an end row. Whereas when I had the end row, we're getting all the way up into the threes. Okay. A lot of this stuff is public record. So what my job would be to do is to figure out where the house falls. Okay, if it needs updating, if it needs a lot of updating, you're right around here. If it needs a little bit of updating, you're right around here. And if it's fully done, you're here. And that's how you arrive at the value for a house, because if the house looks like these guys, there's no way a buyer would pay the price for these guys, and there's no way an appraiser would let it happen anyway. So there you have it, how to properly comp a house. We call it comping, comparable sales, to do a market analysis. So when people show up at your door with this stuff already prepared, you want to sit down and do this with them. Because watch, if I think that area goes between 250 and 275, okay, I know it's an estate. Whoever it was told me that the house is older. Now I have 11 matches. Now I'm going to look at the results. And this looks just as impressive Looks the same as the last one. Impressive. You can take my word for it because you don't have access to this thing. You look on Zillow, but it's not the same. And what did I do? I put in a price. I had a predetermined price in my mind that I put in. I don't do that. But some people do. Some people try to. I don't know that I'm not saying dishonest. I'm not saying incompetence. It's just the wrong thing to do. Narrowing it down by the price is not what you do. You narrow it down geographically, demographically. Is it 3 bedroom? Is it the same air light? Is it different styles? Is it a 1-story twin versus a 2-story, uh, townhouse? That's what you got to watch out for. There's also, when they do these, print search criteria. Some of them allow to print search criteria. Whoops, picked the wrong thing there. I'm just going to quickly print the PDF. I'm just going to show you this one last thing. See, look at the criteria. If somebody's showing you results and they're not showing you the criteria they used, like anything else in the computer world, garbage in, garbage out, make sure they're showing you the data that they're putting in there. Because if they're using price, square footage is okay, but if they're using price to set the parameters, then it might not be accurate and you may be leaving money on the table. A lot of money, as a matter of fact. So there you have it. By the time you're done that, you should have the property positioned to sell quickly, but with multiple offers. Now, why do you want to sell it quick? I'm in no hurry, we can wait, etc., etc. The problem is when you wait, when you have a house be on the market for too long, it stagnates. People perceive there's something wrong with it. So you want to price it aggressively, but you want it to get the most amount of money possible. That's why you're selling it. So a lot of agents like to show up with these fancy, glossy presentations about how great they are, how great their company is, all their awards, testimonials, things that people have said about them, etc., etc. And they'll have in there comparable sales. Well, they should also be able to walk you through live exactly what I just showed you. That way, just like all my clients, you didn't miss anything. You saw every sale, you saw every active, you saw the competition, you see what people are going for, and there's nothing hidden. There's nothing you missed, and that enables you to make an educated, proper decision on how to price a house. For other useful information, including how to get a house sold checklist, and some other videos on what to fix, not to fix, just check out some of my other videos and look below for valuable links. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.